pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. I call this evening's meeting to order. First, we have the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda? If not, do you have motions?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented and authorize the mayor to sign.
I second.
McMahon.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields. Aye. Motion passed. Thank you. Comments from the public? I'm assuming none.
He wants more.
Yeah. Right, moving on to new business. Are we? Oh, you're doing
Stephanie is our
it.
new auditor.
We have Harold in here.
Yes, Harold is sorry he could not make it. He's on crutches.
Oh, no.
So I told him he gets a little break this year
Mhm.
and I will just
All right.
breeze through this for you. So Harold made, with Aguilar and Gatter Charter have completed the audit for the city of Paola for several years now. It's an annual requirement to perform this audit. And he has, let's see. Oh, we also have to adopt a resolution waiving the gap principles, so that waives us from having to basically put a price tag on everything we own. In front of you, you have your audit packet. If you turn to the first page, it says independent auditors report. The opinion states the financial statements present fairly the aggregate cash and unencumbered cash balance. And there are no concerns of fraud or misstatements. That is basically all of these words saying right here. If you go to page 4.
Is your thing on? Yeah.
If you go to page 4, this is the summary statement of receipts and expenditures and unencumbered cash. You'll see our list of funds over here on the left. Yep.
Page 5.
Yeah. Page 5.
At the bottom it says 5. This one we're working on standard.
Are you saying 2 of 3?
Very busy.
This one.
Okay, that's fine. Makes me wonder if you're on page 6.
We don't know.
Tell you what's on this page. Perfect.
Good meeting.
Okay, so it starts with the unencumbered cash balances, and so that was our ending cash from 2022. It then says the receipts and expenditures, which you can see the expenditures on page 5, and the ending unencumbered cash balance. So I compared these numbers to our numbers that we have in our books, and we add up to what Harold came up with, so that's very good.
Yeah.
It also includes our encumbered balances. So that shows the ending cash balance with that encumbered balance. There, page 5. If you could see page 4, it did show that the equipment reserve for the Family Aquatic Center started in a negative, but that has been corrected. So that is not a problem anymore. I know, apparently I can't make copies. Then if you could see page 6, it would continue on to our business funds. It gives the same information. No, you have all of the pages. So
We're missing every other one.
I rely on Harold to supply these, so I just quickly threw them in the copier and page 7 is the most important.
That's right.
There you go. You'll see the available funds at the 10,491,898. We have CDs totaling $4,250,000. These police bond and payroll withholding and the police account, which is the drug enforcement fund, totaling the total cash of $14,768,217. Underneath that is the agency funds. So that includes that police bond, payroll withholding, and the payroll crossings money. So that payroll crossings money just basically comes in and goes out. That's nothing we can actually spend ourselves. So once they ask for that money, we'll write them a check and it's just gone. So our total for the city of Halo, we have 14,411,206.
That is excellent.
Yes. It is. Yeah, I had asked Harold, I said, is there anything I need to like point out? That he said absolutely not. He said everything is lining up and looks great. So, the report does mention the related municipal entities, which is the library. So basically, board appointed by city council, and their funds are included in our audit report.
Yeah.
The other entities are the Pale Housing Authority, which are appointed by the city council, but they do not include their funds in our audit report. Same with PUA, they're audited separately, but they're still funded or an entity of the city. Let's see, on the page 9, the budgetary information, just basically says we must legally adopt a budget and follow the statutory timeline. So he did update to include the revenue neutral information on that, which we typically follow, so we haven't
Right.
done that wrong. It talks about cash and investments, so the city does have CDs and money market accounts. We do invest our money in both of those, and that interest earned is shared with all the funds, which has been excellent for 2023, like interest rates are insane. The long-term debt, it lists out our bonds, the PVC, which is the refunding of the police facility, and the capital leases. That is all listed out there. Then it goes into detail on those. He also listed capital projects, so it is the water park improvements, pool improvements, and so he listed the project authorization and then where we ended 2023 with the expenditures. The interfund transfers are also listed on there. That's just from fund to fund within the city. That's not money. That's extra. The obligations for the long term include the retiree insurance, COBRA, flex spending, capers.
What page are you on now?
13. You miss a lot of that. Vacation and sick pay, and as Harold fashion, I will tell you that the employees receive payment for unused vacation time. So the potential liability to the city, if everyone were to quit and we paid all their vacation, $156,240. For sick time, just 25% would be $121,886. And the comp time, personal days, and wellness would amount to $24,756. So that's just the liability of everyone who quit today, and we have to give them a check. That is about all that is there. The rest of the, I will get you copies of it, but goes into detail of what every fund is. Harold usually mentions some of these numbers, but they are all within our authority of spending, so we didn't overspend anything. Every fund is in a good place. So even though you didn't get all the information, do you have any questions?
Mr. Gabbard always used to say that he was searching for something to say, yeah, I found this. But he said it's boring to say that, nothing.
No, you love a boring, like,
Yeah.
So, if you agree that even, yes, a copy, you would consider approving the offer. And then also consider the resolution to waive the gap principle.
I may be ahead of schedule, but do we have a letter of engagement for next year?
I asked him about that and he doesn't have it for me yet, so
Okay.
I told him he could, whenever he gets it to me,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll bring it to the.
Okay.
That's okay. So, yes.
Any questions? If not, first we'll do the motion for the presentation of the audit report.
I move to accept the 2023 audit report. I second that motion.
McMahon.
Aye.
Case.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Motions. All right, and now we consider adopting resolution number 2024-06.
I'll make a motion, to adopt resolution number 2006, waiving conformance to certain provisions of the generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP.
Also, all yeah. All seconds.
McMahon,
Aye.
Kate,
Aye.
Beckman,
Aye.
Shield.
Motion passed. Next, we have the solid waste services agreement from Waste Management. And Stephanie put a copy of everything in our packets.
So we have contracted with, for our solid waste for 20+ years. The initial contract was with Elevate Services, and it has continued to renew since 2001. And although there was a name change, Waste Management, still Mr. Greg Smith is our contact for all that time. The term of the contract, the current contract expires in 2025, but as we discussed at the work study, we want to make some changes. So Bryce has presented us with a new contract, and he has worked really hard for us to get all of our concerns addressed. So if you have questions for him, he's here to just.
Thanks for coming, Bryce.
I was wondering if we stand up here.
You can.
No, I know. One concern you guys had was about senior rates. I got that fixed.
Yeah.
So that's normal. Just take the normal increase on it. So we did get that taken care of. I think there's like 18. It was very minimal. So I took waste management.
I just wrote down a couple of things. One of them I answered as I do the contract, because if you guys read, we'll do, if you so choose, do a new contract for 6 years. That first year, it's still say 2% for next year.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is flip up to the current contract, just live it out, and then we'll extend it for 5 years after that. So it'll be a 2% at first, the 2025, I guess. It'd be.
Well, I'm just gonna be that number. I'm a little protective of my board, and we won't benefit from any of these changes, with the exception of 2 new trash cans. And the increases are so significant. When you look at, a lot of people in my ward are on fixed incomes, and they don't qualify.
Totally understand.
The senior rate. I might get some phone calls or some questions, and how do I handle that? Because I can't, where I benefit from. You know.
Correct.
2 new trash cans.
There's a lot of things, actually. Number one, it's gonna clean up.
Bryce,
You know this.
speak up.
Oh, is that better? It's
Yeah.
gonna help clean up the area. Cause right now you got bags of trash up there. You got the junky cans sitting out there. You got little just stuff, varmints get into it. It doesn't look as good. If you go down to Osawatomie and look see it. The Cartados, it is cleaned up the town tremendously, because you don't have garbage sitting everywhere, right? At the same token, I talked to Stephanie today. Currently, we have 395 residents that currently rent a cart. It's $3 a month. That's gone. So really, you start looking at the math and stuff, and legitimately, if you do the math on it, $3 a month, 395 residents, that's like, right? The difference between the 2% and the 5% increase monthly is $1,100 for the entire time. So you look at it, $1,100. So legitimately, it's coming out wash on the monetary stuff. But legitimately, the biggest thing it helps clean up the town, and it makes it more beautiful. This is what I would go with, especially recycle, because right now we have the tubs, and you know what happens, we live in Kansas, right? And it gets windy and stuff blows angry. We put those recycle bins in, they're lidded, and stuff doesn't blow everywhere. It helps keep the towns cleaner and neater.
Well, to chime in a little bit, and also here is, you know, you guys are looking at that, and again, we all say fixed income there. So looking at a 5% is still that in.
Mhm.
And I got residents at 2.7% for the kit.
Mhm.
So, and those are legitimate calls that we will get. So other than cleaning up the town, because I've been to smart, you know, I, drive the alleys to go see my relatives all the time. They did clean it up at some level. I do disagree with you, Bryce. Is there anything else?
Well, I mean, if you want the numbers of stuff, so since we did that contract in
Helps me, yes.
2015, right? When we did that contract, 2% increase. Inflation since we signed that agreement's around 27.4%. Our contract increase has been 18, so you guys beat that, right, by 9.4%. Landfill increases over just the last 4 years is right around 13.5%. Our labor costs have to 17% the last 4 years. So you do the math on that, where your contracts went up 8%. Well, our labor costs went up 17%. Our landfill increases went up that 14% basically. At the same token, the carts, we're eating that cost. $207,000. I just signed the PO yesterday on it, so we're gonna eat that cost on it. Yes, will it eventually pay for itself? Possibly. At the same token, what we're trying to offer is help clean up the town, make it more streamlined for us, because it is hard for us. It's 95 gallon, right? Do my guys hold it, they hold you accountable for that for the most part, really. But when we do have that card, we know the limit is that card. Anything in addition to that needs to be stickered and stuff.
Needs to be what?
Stickered, and we currently do that. It's just sometimes guys don't hold you accountable
With
for
the
that.
cards and the truck, you're eliminating how many positions?
Well, not a lot, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm gonna be running one automated truck. It's not gonna be an automated lot. And like I was telling Stephanie earlier, the cool thing is I'm not eliminating any of your drivers. I have Craig, 38 years with us. I have Juan, 18 years with us. I have Rich, 9 years, close to 10 years. So you look at that and the boots on the ground of Paola, and I think Chris just went over 5 years. So all my guys over 5 years in Paola. So safety, the service of them, all that stuff, and dependable. And you guys know your drivers, right? And you kind of get to develop a relationship with them. So those guys are still going to be in Paola, Kansas, or not. But good question, really good question. Did that get you your answer?
Kind of,
I know.
you know, I just know that
Over.
there's gonna.
You're gonna get some questions,
I-
but ultimately you look at this stuff it's done. 2% isn't keeping up with, it's quite, excuse my French, walk right now.
It isn't.
It isn't. I mean, and
2% doesn't keep up with the payroll cost.
it doesn't. I mean, I know the last 3 or 4 years, Waste Management's tried to do like a 4 to 5% increase on the labor stuff, just the annual reviews, and that's not even including increase stuff. Because ultimately we have to keep drivers to drive the routes, because if I don't have drivers to drive the routes, you know where your trash is staying on the curb, and I don't want to do that. So we've constantly been doing market analysis, stuff like that, just to stay on the top end of the spectrum of the metro area. To make sure we stay competitive, we still keep our same good drivers. I mean, what's positive, our side of tenure, I think it's pushing over 67% of my guys have worked for 5 years, which in our business is pretty amazing. So, but we try to stay competitive on the wages, that different stuff to keep those same drivers in your neighborhoods, which are gonna be safer, cleaner, and also have developed a relationship with your residents. Did I jump around too much?
No. Can you estimate if we replace that 2% escalator with a rolling 12-month average of water, sewer, and trash?
Don't want to do it.
It'd be
And
really hard to budget
the
for.
hard part for you guys, is budget and stuff, I think about it. I mean, we could even do a CPIU. It's thrown dark. And ultimately, I know this, you guys have your contract, and it's an annualized contract, you guys are budgeting a contract for your city, for your all the
It
base
is
stuff.
easier when you,
I know I can date this back to LPK. And we always had a percentile increase in the contract, and I personally, I prefer that. just because then you know what you need is you're talking budgets and audits and all that stuff. It'd be easier for the city to plan, you know?
Well, not very often is that gonna play in anybody's favor. That's Vanderbilt.
And you may, and you might.
Not lately, anyway.
It's like,
One year, but
you
yeah.
do lose.
Right.
It's like stock market and stuff, you know, and you become, oh God, we should have taken that increase, you know?
Can you touch on, what you did with the yard waste? And how,
Okay, well, I talked to Stephanie about this because I don't like the city not having control of what the price is of their box and that yard waste container right now. Market. It's non-contracted, it's whatever else. Stephanie's calling it. I was surprised what happened to the price on it because this week it was this price, next week it was this price. I don't want that for the city. So I put that in there. So then it's locked in price. So then you guys know what to budget around. Well, I mean, it's hard to budget on yard waste stuff because you don't know how many boxes you're gonna haul. But at least you'll have a fixed price as far as what, as long as the landfill doesn't go up, but that's it. The good news is we take it to compost facility. Usually that rate stays pretty steady. It's all of our material solid waste stuff that just keeps going up, up on them. But the yard waste has stayed pretty steady, Eddie. So I went ahead and put that in there to hopefully just lock that in. So you guys can do the budget around on that stuff.
75.
Yeah, 175 for all plus.
this price somewhat predictable. It's a, how much you get for yard waste. You don't get the whole lot in there.
It's season.
Yeah.
It's so hard, because I think it depends on, because there's been times you guys have probably shut your place down just to get caught up.
You have trouble with contamination.
Right, like today, yeah.
That's, that's a lot.
Do you have the contract in front of you?
The new one?
Yeah.
I do.
Can you go to page 15, please?
Page 15.
Based on the talk about is the single stream specification, what you can do to put it on.
Honestly, JR,
Well, I am.
we don't,
What?
we don't hold this stuff. But go ahead.
I'm
Confusing you. My guys don't have. Let's get that way. The only time they can do it is back. If they open that lid and there's garbage galore in there. Otherwise, they have so many stops, they're not gonna pick and brought through the recycle. I hate saying that to you, but it's got true. And so what happens, is we dump, you've been up to the market.
Yeah,
Right? We dump on a concrete floor, that's where it all happens. It's sorting up there, and I'd say at one point, I don't know if it's at today, it was around 23 to 24% contamination up there. Which does scare people because they see this pit over in the corner of the MRF. And that's all going to landfill. It's all garbage. But I played undercover boss, got back at the truck a few times and people are throwing away diapers and throwing away, I mean, just you name it type stuff, food waste, clothes, garden hoses, you name it. It's like, oh, I'll just stick it there. Sometimes my guys, unless it's super contaminated, we'll sticker it. But otherwise, we take it and then we'll let them deal with it because they have all the sorters, separators and big stuff. That answer your question.
not at all.
Answer to go with your question.
I appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
It does not answer my question. Two simplistic questions is you go down there, it says glass, food, beverage, containers. Are you telling me that you take glass now and you're?
We do not. That's set up a price chopper. It's in the non-recyclables section too.
It's actually, we did talk about that on the phone, but it didn't.
Is it still in there?
Yes,
Where,
it needs to be moved down in space.
I see glass and metal cookware.
Oh, that is, it needs to go down to non-recyclables.
That was my question.
What page are you on, 15?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I worked with Price Chopper. You may remember that when you're out the county. I worked with Price Chopper, got that set up. So we had to-
And the reason I seen that, and I was gonna ask you about that, thought a little bit in there
No,
as far as that goes. So
yeah,
the glass Because I don't think anybody takes, I mean, I think they take it down, there's a price chopper. but-
Well, and the problem of it is, like with glass, there are some areas in the states that take glass in single stream. But the problem with taking it in single stream is you're compacting that, and what happens, with glass when you compact it, it shatters. And then trying to separate that stuff out, good luck.
Like I said, I mean, I think the main thing that they did talk about, and that, you know, we have to have these totes, and by necessity, I see residents put them in the bags. You know, so there's stuff can blow away, and you guys pick it up, which is fine, and you know, and as far as that goes. The one thing that I would like to see, and I don't know how it comes by, is, you know, this contract, if it gets approved, you know, we're getting kind of a new deal, new totes, new everything. And I went onto the city site and I printed off what the city has, and it's very, very good, I will say that.
Mhm.
And, be nice, and again, I talked to last time that you were here, the one before that, is
Mhm.
that a lot of people don't know what a recyclable is, you know?
So just
and-
education type stuff.
And I would like to see some sort, and whoever does it really don't care,
Mhm.
is that I go over to my son's house and he wants to teach his kids to recycle. And above his recycling bin is just a sheet there. Hey, don't throw this in or throw that in there. And again, it is up to the residents. Now, this is a much improvement because we're going to do away with the paper, with the plastic bags
Yeah.
that people use, but I just want to see a little bit of it.
Well, one thing I do once a year, JR, is I work, or I send Stephanie and Randy and stuff, a city calendar, and it has our service calendar on it, as far as when citywide cleanup is, when holidays are, all that stuff. But also on there is the do's and don'ts of recycling. You guys put that in your city newsletter,
On our website.
right? Thank you, and it's on your
And
website.
at utility billing, usually we have a stack of them.
Oh, yeah, and they have them at their counter at City Hall too, to help get those out to the residents. So I know we've tried to do as much as possible, you know, that's, you have to make
Well,
people read it.
On my refrigerator. Trash can.
Yeah.
And I think some people gotta realize in 1970, big wheel is not recyclable, you know, things like that, but
Mhm.
recycling is kind of my passion at some level. I mean, I took the recycling programs for quite a while. So number one is, I'm glad to see modernization of it, yes.
Yes,
Number two, the glass, if we get that down there, I'll take it out, whatever. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
yeah,
And number three, Stephanie, good job on this contract.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We need to acknowledge Bryce's
Yes.
effort he put in, every concern we have relayed, he has been able to get.
good
changed.
words.
So he has been great.
I mean, sometimes that's, hopefully that's a benefit of having a local rep. You know, I know Waste Management is the largest hauler in North America. But what's cool is if you pull up our DOT number, it's LNK Group Holdings. If you pull up our pay stubs in the corner, it says LNK. Our some of our trucks still have say LNK on it, and my guys call them LNK, and everyone that calls them Waste Management calls us LNK. So I mean, we still operate as a small site, we're just owned by our large corporation. Which sometimes can be beneficial, because when you need these funds to get those fancy trucks and $200,000+ in carts, you can get it a little bit easier, you know?
I've actually got more, we got kind of in pre-facing with the residents up there. In pre-facing, that's actually positive comments. I'm excited about the new pins and stuff.
Good, good.
Thank you, Bryce.
Any
You want
questions?
more money if we don't want to pay.
You've been quiet.
Now, on the senior prices, I think that, how many people do we have that,
18.
and we should have a lot more than that. And,
Well, the minimum that you can make is 20,000.
Maximum you
Yeah.
can.
but there's quite a few people in town that are. And, but they may not know about it. And, I wish there was some way we could reach
Senior
them.
housing also. doesn't qualify. If you live in like the senior housing, that doesn't qualify either, so that takes. out a
Yeah.
lot of those residents.
Yeah.
Yeah. A residential home,
Yeah.
single family residential.
Thanks, Bryce.
Any other questions?
That's not easy to know.
No, it's,
It's not very enthusiastic.
Do I have more questions? If not, is there a motion? To approve contract renewal presented by Waste Management and authorize the necessary signatures.
I'll second that motion.
McMahon,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Peckman,
I,
Shields,
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you, Bryce.
Hey, one thing, so I've already worked, keep you guys appraised, and what I'll do is try to maybe come over here or something to kind of keep you guys in line on this, because there's gonna be some moving parts, right? I've ordered the cards in the very last week. I've got those ordered. I have those scheduled to be dropped probably in September sometime, with delivery probably starting September 30th, which would be that first week in October. I've already started working on postcards because communication is huge, right? And I'll get with you all with the postcards, and the same token, if we have some verbiage we need to put on those postcards, it's a great opportunity to get those on the streets. I plan on sending those out probably mid-August, something like that. I'll get with Marcia, get an updated customer list in mid-August too, just to make sure. I told Marcia one thing I do one, because we have everyone's addresses. I know Paola well enough, and there's a lot of PO boxes too, so I want to make sure. She's already sent me one, but I want to make sure I get a last situation. The cool thing is very Pacific. They're out of DeSoto, Kansas, so they're local. They have a routing program that will be live. So if we're delivering those cards, JR is gonna call you and say, well, I haven't gotten mine yet. Why didn't you get yours already? They'll be able to pull that up at City Hall and say, hey, they're in this territory right now. They're by Myola. Looks like they're heading to Heatherwood next or something like that. So that's what's gonna be beneficial on there. And it will probably, delivery wise, will probably take about a week and a half. Probably to get all those carts on the street. So it's a process, but Briggs done those a lot for me. They did Lewisburg for me as well. Did a fantastic job. So, any other questions?
You're gonna pick up the old cards.
No. So what we'll do is our initial wave of deliveries, people who have carts will keep their carts. And then there's gonna be some people, and maybe some of you in here, that are gonna complain, I don't want a 95-gallon trash cart, small. We'll have 65-gallon. Well, I've actually ordered some extra just in case. But what we ask is the resident keep it from. And then give it a try. It's what we found is they decide, oh, I need that big of a cart for my garage, right? So we give it a month, and then after that month, if they decide I do not want that, I want the smaller can, then they can contact Waste Management and we'll switch that during the week sometime. Does that make sense?
Good.
Yeah, so the good news is I have some history with this, and we've kind of learned the do's and don'ts, and kind of, again, I'll come over to the city and kind of give you guys all the do's and don'ts, because you'll take the phone calls and stuff. We'll take some too, but just to kind of create, the good news is we've done it enough now to where we're halfway experts on it, and can halfway make it work pretty smoothly. So, any other questions for me?
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, well, I sure do appreciate everything, and I'll just be in contact with you. And if you guys need to come study or something, that's all.
Your new cards with you, okay?
I'm in it. Bring it, bring it. See you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, next, the Borough Estates number 3, Mary Platt, we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, so at the May 21st Planning Commission meeting, commissioners voted unanimously to recommend approval of the preliminary plat for the Borough Estates number 3 subdivision. This proposed subdivision is located in the current Borough 2 subdivision and is 4.19 acres. Proposed subdivision would include 6 single-family residential lots ranging from approximately 0.4 to 0.7 acres. These lots on the GIS map. See it.
Yeah.
The light blue line.
Yeah. These lot sizes meet the minimum requirements for lots in the suburban zoning district. Lots will have access to the residential street and the cul-de-sac, Lake Mile. Drainage for this site will be via engineered channels that will flow into the drainage way. south of this hill. Water will be from rural water two and will tie into an existing line that runs along Lake Mile. Sanitary sewer currently runs along Lake Mile Drive. The developer will extend this main along the north side of the street to service the northern lots. 3 southern lots will tie into an existing main that runs along the southern line. All plats and plans were reviewed by staff as well as outside engineering consultants with minimal comment. Staff has found the application is consistent with Article 10 of the LDO. The application will not be detrimental to health, safety, or general welfare of the community. Staff's recommendation is to approve Borough State number 3 preliminary plat with the condition that it meets all engineer and staff review comments.
Any questions?
These are developers putting in the streets and everything.
He answered my question about the.
Make a motion. I move to approve Rural Estates number 3 preliminary plat. Condition that it meets all engineering and staff review comments and.
McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Peckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. Thank you. It's good to have her, even.
Yes. Take what we can get.
Especially with thing interest rate. Next we have asphalt bids for Wesley.
Do you want this one, Kurt?
We
Okay, if you don't want to, I can't.
talked about this at work study too, the road on the west side of the lake is in pretty bad shape, so I selected 3 bids. For milling it down the dirt, taking some of the dirt out. The work will include milling and the existing 2-inch asphalt off and an additional 4 inches of dirt to be replaced with 6 inches of asphalt. The 4 inches of dirt will be taken from the road and used to build a berm along the side of the road there, so we can side. The 3 bids were from Kellogg for $270, $572, $74, McInerney for $294, Williams Sons for $314, $720. And it's gonna come out of the CIP budget. Approximately $40 coming out of the CIP budget. We have some money left over from our original project. We recommend construction.
And you said they're gonna start from the fall, but all this. Yeah. Any questions for Kirk? If not, is there a motion?
Move to approve the bid from Kimball Construction in the amount of $270,572.74.
I second.
McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Peckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you. All right, the traffic control device schedule update.
Sure. Okay. So as we discussed, the area around the swimming beach gets very crowded with parking. So this is to add no parking sign on when you come out of the swim beach going to the east and the west. You'll see the yellow drawing from the GIS is where the proposed signs would be. This would be for both sides of the road. So the resolution would add to our traffic control device schedule.
Also, as we discussed at work study, the overflow parking is usually, they try to get, into the empty lot. That's getting paid, but usually that happens for holidays. It should be paid before July 4th, so it shouldn't be an issue to use for.
Any questions on this? No.
Just Mr. Corbin. Are you ready for that?
Will there be warning tickets or just like if you're parking there and there's a sign already posted, it's a ticket?
Typically I'll do signage, we give about 30 days,
Okay.
you know, so everybody gets used to it.
Mhm.
We give verbal warnings, we'll get out there, like we typically do on the holidays, we'll have to get on PA to just get people to move.
Okay.
We can do the same thing for the warnings and stuff, and usually once the police show up, and people know they're violating, they show up pretty quick in their
Yeah.
cars.
That's just one thing we talked about in our study, was being swift with the, force penalty, yeah. To get their attention. If people would park.
Do that much.
Which about paint lining on the gravel.
Yeah. Get it that way.
Yeah.
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 All right, any other questions on it? I move to approve resolution 2024-005, amending the traffic control device schedule for the city of Paola and authorize the necessary signatures.
I'll second that motion.
McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Aye.
motion passed. Staff reports, chief, you have anything?
We have one in the academy currently. Hire. One position still open, and we're gonna have another one here starting Friday. Position, so losing one to the city of Lacey.
So does that mean you're full now, or are you?
No, we have one open position still. And we're gonna have another one, so we'll have two by Friday. School getting close, the slide getting closer, we got a little hiccup with it today, but I think that's fixed. Or will be fixed tomorrow. Comcast is still moving along, laying fiber optics, they're going along pretty good. You kind of tell where they've been when they're done. Comcast is getting ready to start, so we're all still a little nervous over that. Asphalt crew will be back the 24th, 25th, 26th of June to finish up Wade and Sons' original contract.
We're up to 161 permits now. So permits are still coming in. We've only got new house permit for a few months. So. Got a new builder, so. Got a new admin assistant. We just got hired and she started yesterday. She's already picking up, doing everything really great.
So she came back today, you didn't ruin her.
No. Came back with a smile on.
Back after lunch.
She's been doing really good. I think she's gonna work out really good.
Good.
And, new building inspector, Trevor. Trevor. I believe it's gonna start
June
26th, yeah. So Wednesday after, so I'll be missing one. Yep, and he's fully certified.
Very good.
All right, I got a few. First, I want to point out that I know we joke that Public Works is a catch-all, and that is no exception for our Public Works Director. He's been amazing with the pool. I saw him out doing locates today. He's been doing everything he can. So I just want to acknowledge him. And Mitch, this transition downstairs with building inspection, he has been picking up so much. He's training Mariah, he's helping when Jody is still there, but he has a lot of vacation time to use before he retires. So he has been stepping up a lot down there in inspection as well, on top of code enforcement, on top of learning zoning. So he has been jack of all trades down there. So we have a very good team. I'm real excited to see where we're gonna go. So a lot of changes, but on that, Jody's last day of employment will be the 20th of June, and he has been with us for 19 years. So I want to go ahead and acknowledge that. That's an amazing thing. Today, Mayor House and I hosted the City County Summit that we have quarterly.
It's got to be a little bit more than that, to be on Fontana. but
Yeah,
it's
it's
close to
mostly plus
4
one. I'll send out the overview that I gave for them. We usually just go over your current city projects, your goals and discussion items, tabletop, things like that. It was very productive. It lasted 2 hours.
Where do you have that?
We had this one at the fire station.
Each city hosts.
Yep, we take turns each city, so it was our turn to host. Yeah, we're done for a year. So it went well. It was a lot of good, open discussion about a lot of issues, so.
Did Fontana come?
Paola comes,
Yep.
yeah, she's great. Yep, so, 115 West Wea, Mitch and I and Rob met with, Gary Lasher and Carolyn, the owners of one of the buildings, neighbor buildings today. We sent out the brick letters for the cost share of that, what we will not repair. They're all for it, so we're gonna move forward with that. The dance studio, who is on the next site that we sent the letter to, she's out on vacation until next week, but Rob George, that sweet man, said that he'll set up a time to meet with her to go over exactly what's gonna get fixed, to see if she's interested, so. He's trying to work with 4 different timelines and contracts he's working with, so that we are getting our money's worth out of that man. He is very good. And then lastly, I have just a reminder, if you guys are wanting to come, is Vicky's retirement celebration tomorrow from 4 to 6 at the Field Country Club, so. That is all. Sure.
I got nothing.
Okay.
So, Jared, you have anything?
Yeah, something happened a couple of weeks ago. And it made me think a lot about City Paola. And it made me think a lot about city government. And as I sat there and it made an impression on me. It really, really did. And as I thought about it over the last couple of weeks, came to me was, what makes good great? Seriously, what makes good great? And one of your officers made good great a couple weeks ago. It's not on this gentleman did was this. I drive all over this town every day, and like this. And there was a Walmart. And one of your officers, and it really could be any of them, when it's all said and done, was jumping a person. Jumper cables. I think that's. Sorry about that, Steve. But, no, when she sent over there, so as I'm driving by, and I'm taking a look at it, and sometimes I always tell everybody is it's these little things that you do. This person, you don't know what kind of day they were having. You don't know, but they're at Walmart. Then here comes the Paola PD, i.e. Paola. And they come over there. And it wasn't the act of doing the cables and doing that. Is I could see the back of this person. But the other one was, and I could see it today. It was one of your officers that gave that person a reassuring smile. And that's all it took. And it may sound small, and it may sound like it's kind of insignificant. Guarantee you that that person may be in one of them. And that person that was getting their car over there. That smile was the one that did it. And it wasn't so much kind of a smirk, it was a reassuring smile. Don't know which officers, what it was, but it would be all your police force that does that. Chief Corbin doesn't show up on here. That's stuff that I think everybody and our staff that sits on the councilman and of course our mayor, I think that's stuff that we do every day. And I think that makes our city not good, but makes our city great.
So when they wear the uniform that says Paola, or working at the swim beach, or whatever they're doing, they are Paola. And when the county went to identifying appraisers because they would drive up to the house, start appraising. And people would come out. One instance was with the shotgun because they didn't know who the person was. And we repeatedly said, you are the county. So if you're gonna be grumpy that day, you know, try pasting on a smile or something. And the same goes for the city of Paola.
I was extremely proud. Week and a half. You know, it was all said and done. And so that's why I enjoy being a council.
Yeah. Good point.
You have anything?
No. Actually, thank you for all your hard work on the budget. I didn't even miss those pages.
She knew the, she knew the numbers. It was-
Yeah, exactly.
We need the budget. It's fine. I have important paper. Kathy, do you have anything?
No, I don't, thank you.
Leanne?
I noticed that the, house down in the park is empty now. And, so you're gonna start doing some work on it,
We don't know yet.
you know?
We don't.
We haven't got in yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, they just got,
Yeah,
still.
that's all.
One step, I was
Yeah. Yeah, step one complete.
All right, first we have the appointment to the Paola Recreation Commission Board. And we have one application. I did ask today, because there's no reason times I don't know somebody or don't know somebody that knows somebody. But apparently Wes had lunch with this gentleman and felt good about his appointment.
Who did?
Wes, rec director. Felt good about. And
We
being,
had lunch with Val.
yes, yes, so I was a little uneasy with no knowledge at all.
Yeah.
But Wes had lunch with them and we should be okay.
Wes' exact words were, I had lunch with him, I'm not coming because I'm comfortable, have fun. I said, okay. But he wanted to relay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so. If you all would consider the appointment of Valor Lister.
Yes, I'd like to motion to appoint Val to the Paola Recreation Commission Board representing the city of Paola.
I'll second the motion.
McMahon.
Aye.
Base. Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
All right. I just have a couple more quick things. One got brought up because JR was bragging on the PD. So I'll brag that Chief Porter was at our eliminated stand. My nephew and grandson were very excited. Especially after my uncle posed as the eliminated sheriff. He's gonna take them for not having a permit.
That was
good. Yeah, yeah, so. But like JR said, the little things are actually the big things, so proud of our city for the way that employees represent us.
And he picked his favorite car in the car show.
Yeah.
You do? The 1950 Chevy truck. Oh, really?
We went up there Saturday because I had pigeons as well, but I had my grandson with me. So my choice this year has flames all over it. Yeah, I was a little bit influenced. And then, we all got an email, I'm assuming, about the market training
Yes.
in August. I don't know if it's what I've already been to. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be similar.
I don't think it's the exact same training, but I think
It's
it's
the same, it's the same company.
Yes, same company. I
The same
think.
people I went to, they are excellent.
Yes.
Mark.
The SGR that they're bringing in, the guy that did the training that I went to, I don't know, it was months ago. He was really, really good.
Yes.
So this is what he does for a living, is he trains. He used to be a city manager, I believe, the guy that was training.
For a long time.
$100.
Yes,
JR, you might want to do that.
it's really good. I love,
I was planning on going to that train,
Yeah.
the mark train. Jury still have me on the lead train, you know.
yeah, it was,
You got a good instructor.
Yeah.
it's downtown.
Kansas City.
offices.
Broadway, wasn't it?
Yes, it's very,
It's very easy to get to.
I will, sorry, no, Linda, you're on the 17th, early bird registration ends, so if you want to go, please.
You have
register by then. Thanks, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, the one training I've been up there with, that company was really good.
But we can email Stephanie and you can. Can't you?
Okay, then, yeah. I think you were.
That's all I have. You guys would like to go? Look,
I moved to adjourn.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Aye.
And
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. I, that's,